In today's class, we're going to look into the terminologies of wireless networks. We'll try to configure the wireless network, simple network, probably with the router and two networks connected to it. And we will also see certain things which we can configure in the as a part of wireless network. Example, authentication or filtering or how to set a DHCP in a wireless environment, right? So that we are going to look into that. Right. So again, we are not going to look into very detailed configuration of wireless networks, but however, whatever is basics is required, that we are going to cover it as per our curriculum, or let's say it as a syllabus. Okay. So for this, quickly, what I'm going to do is, as I said, instead of giving it as a presentation, I'm going to do the configuration of wireless network, a simple wireless network, and we'll see all those terminologies then and there, what terminology we are going to use it, or what metrics or what parameters we're going to use it, how to configure those parameters, and what is the effect of those parameters, that we're going to observe it in today's class. All right. So to quickly start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a, let's say it as a, if you click on the route or let's say network devices down, then you have a routers. All right. Then you have something called a wireless devices. All right. So in wireless devices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something called home router. There is a wireless home router. All right. I request everyone to mute yourself. All right. So we're going to take a wireless router, or let's say home router, which we'll be using this router to configure it, maybe directly, or we'll also try to configure this wireless router remotely also by using a remote login or something. We'll see that. Right. Now, this is the first step. I've taken a wireless router. So this is a similar router which you are trying to use it at probably your house or wherever access point, whatever you call it, you can name it that way. Right? So how the analogy is going to be is like something. It is going to be something like this. I'll just let you show. Maybe we may have a main router, or let's say a internet which is connected to internet. This is a main router, right? From main router, we would have connected to a switch, right? So this might be our main router to the JAIN campus or whatever it is. So that is connected to a switch. From the switch, the packets, or you can even say this is a master switch. All right, this you can say it as a main router or campus router. All right, this might be a FET router, campus router, and this might be a master switch. This might be a master switch. So the campus router, or let's say main router, is connected to a master switch. From the master switch, probably the distribution may happen to different switches or different access points. Right? That's how the setup is going to be. Right? So this is the main router where you get an internet supply, and that is distributed to the master switch. From the master switch, it might go to a different switch or different access point. So as of now, I'm going to take, this is one of the access point. From the switch, the internet is trying to let's say it as a distribute, right? So I'm going to call it as a, let's say you can even call it as an access point, one of the access point. We'll try to see how do we configure this access point also. Let's not worry. And then we are trying to take one, let's say it as an end server, which is connected to a router. We'll try to access from the mobile nodes to reach this router. Right? I'm going to call it as a, let's say, might be this is where we have our let's say DNS, we have our HTTP, right, services. You can say it as a server, right? DNS and HTTP, all other services are hosted. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some mobile nodes. Probably let's take it as a laptops. I'm going to take a couple of laptops. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these laptops are supposed to connect to these access point. All right. These laptops are supposed to connect these access points using in a wireless mode. All right. They have to connect in a wireless mode. If you see, as of now, these laptops are not able to connect to the access point, right? The moment, because though the laptops are switched on, you can see it is the laptops are on, but though the laptops are on, they are not able to connect to this wireless router, right? So there is a one reason why they are not able to connect to the wireless router is it's a simple, because these laptops are the hardware component. What these laptops have got is it is a RJ45 connector. It doesn't had a wireless module where the Wi-Fi is, or let's say Wi-Fi can be connected. So what we're gonna do is, uh, observe carefully. We're gonna switch off this router and we are gonna remove the, let's say, RJ45, and we are going to add the wireless adapter. You can see this is a wireless adapter. This is how it looks like, the wireless adapter. Now, so that's what I'm going to do. I have not switched on because let's say purposefully I have not switched on. Let it be switch off mode only. I'll come back to that. So every end device, what is that we're going to do is we're going to remove the, let's say, RJ45 connector. All right, okay, it is on. We are going to remove the RJ45 connector and we are going to connect to a wireless module. We're going to add the wireless module. Even all the laptops, we're going to do that. We're going to remove the RJ45 and we're going to add the wireless module. Second, last one, we're going to remove the, let's say, wireless adapter. And we're going to remove the RJ45 and we're going to add the wireless adapter. Now, this wireless adapter, you can even say it as a 802.11. That is a standard name, IEEE standard name given to this wireless adapter. There are different versions in this wireless adapter. You would have observed it even in your mobile phones. Let's say IEEE 802.11, A, B, G, and C versions are there. There are different versions. All these versions specifies different bandwidths, different support, full duplex or duplex or whatever it is. So, but recent all wireless modules will support all, let's say A, B, C, G versions. All the versions it will be supported. Earlier, when initial days, when the wireless has come into the existence wireless module, it was first A, then B, then C, then it has come G. Then now the recent versions are, let's say it as a, they are permitting all the, let's say it as a, they are supporting all the versions. Okay, so we have switched on this. Let me switch off this. Then now let's say now what we have done is we have given the wireless modules, wireless. We have attached the wireless adapters for all the PCs. All right, and the PCs are in shutdown mode. The PCs are in shutdown mode. All right. Now, first point I wanted you to understand is the moment you switch on the PC. Look at this. The moment you switch on the PC, the PC is trying to, since the wireless module is added, the PC is trying to connect to the router, right? The PC is trying to connect to the router. Now, there are certain points which you need to understand now. The first point is this laptop is trying to search for the wireless network, point number one. And the wireless network, whichever is available, point number two, whichever is available, how this fellow comes to know that wireless network is available, because this fellow is broadcasting it. He is broadcasting the details saying that I'm available, you can connect. Point number two. So this fellow is searching for the Wi-Fi and this fellow is broadcasting whichever is available, and it is an open access. As of now, this fellow doesn't have any restrictions to connect to the wireless network. So that is how this fellow is able to connect directly or by default to, or let's say as of now, to this wireless network, right? So I repeat, the first thing is this PC3 is trying to search for a Wi-Fi or like wireless. So how it will search? Probably it will search for the SSIDs. What is that SSID? It is a name given to the wireless network. All right, and it will that SSID will be broadcasted. This fellow is trying to broadcast the SSID, and it is open access. So that's how this fellow is trying to connect. The moment I switch on, you look at this. The moment I switch on this PC, now the router is trying to broadcast the information. This fellow also gets connected. Now the moment I switch on the PC, that fellow also gets connected. Even this fellow also gets connected. Look at that. So now all the end devices, they've been connected in a wireless mode. They've connected in a wireless mode. If you observe, we have the interfaces wireless, or let's say connectionless communication. All right, that is the first point we noted. Second thing is Now I can do certain changes in this wireless router. What is that changes? The way these people are getting connected, all right, or the way these people need to communicate, or the other parameters as we do in our regular wide networks, all right. We can apply a ACL, you can apply a filter can be a MAC based or filter can be a IP based, right? So you can block multiple PCs or you can block only one PC, right? All these things we can do it here. All these things we can do it here. All right. Let's try to explore all those parameters. Let's try to explore all those parameters. Before exploring all those parameters, let us give a simple IP addressing. Look at this. Now for this network, what we are going to do is we're going to take it as a 192.168. Let's say it as a I'm going to take it as a 1.0 network. But in that 1.0 network, I have one PC. And this side, I'm going to take it as a 192.168 and 2.0 network. I'm going to take it as a 2.0 network. Now, look at this carefully. The point to be you need to notice from the switch, all right, I would have given to a different PCs. Let's say there might be another PC which from the switch it has got connected, right, from the switch. This might be a situation. Now, instead of another PC here, we try to connect to a wireless router. From there, we are trying to connect n number of devices. Right? So hope you're able to understand. Now the scenario is very much similar to the PC. The way we connect to the switch, the way we connect to a PC. Now what we have done instead of PC, here we connected to a wireless router so that it will be distributed, or let's say there are multiple devices connected to this. That means our usual scenario, when I take it as a 2.0, I need to have a gateway. Let's say I need to have a gateway, let's say 2.1. For this PC, I would have given 2.2. Similarly, for this wireless router, I will give 2.3. Right? Are you able to understand? Now, if you see this side, I would have given 1.1. I'm going to give 1.2. Right? So as we do a normal IP assignment, I will be assigning 2.2 and 2.3 for this router. Now you may ask me, sir, what about these devices? So what IP address will be assigned? Now that's where the wireless router will maintain its own private network. The wireless router will maintain its own private network. It might give some other IP 2.3.0 or 4.0. You can enable that. All right. So the network which is connected to this wireless router will be having its own private network. Though the wireless router is identified using 2.3, under 2.3, this router will maintain its own private network. Right? That is one point you are supposed to note. All right. So let's do the physical configuration. Then we'll go and see how we can play around with this wireless router. All right. So what we're going to do is first we're going to set this server. I'm going to tell this server because your IP is going to be, let's say, the IP is going to be 192.168. Let's say 1.2 is your IP. All right. And this is a subnet mask. Gateway is going to be 1.1. And DNS server, since I have hosted in the same, I'm going to keep it as a 2.2 only. Right? That is one. And second thing, I'm going for the services. I'm going to make sure, all right, DNS is enabled. Right? Probably I'll say www.fet.com. We're going to map it to same IP. Say, sorry. We're going to map it to same. If somebody tries to access fet.com, it has to map to 1.2. So in fet.com, what is that we hosted? Let's say in a DHCP, sorry, HTTP, we'll go to the services and we'll try to edit this so that it will display welcome to FET. FET. I'm going to say welcome to FET. If somebody access this particular site, so it is going to display welcome to FET. And then assign the, let's say, sorry, we have enabled the DNS, HTTP is also on, and desktop, we have assigned the IP addresses. Fine. Now let's configure this guy 1/0. So we have 1/0 here. We're going to say on. The IP address we're going to use is 1.1. And we're going to configure this there. So this end is pretty done. Let's go to this side and slowly we'll come back to the wireless router. So I'm going to configure FA0/0 as a 2.1. Let's see. We have 0/0. We're going to configure it as a 2.1. Right? So that's a 2.1. And we're going to configure this PC as a, let's say, your IP is going to be 2.2. And this is a gateway. 2.1 is a gateway, and DNS is available at 1.2. Right? Let's say DNS is available at 1.2. Let's let it get service from the Let's see. We'll try to access DNS from this PC, whether we are able to access or not. So I'm going to say fet.com, www.fet.com. Why? Let's access 192.168. Oh, it has come. Okay, you can see. Welcome to FET. Welcome to FET. That means it is able to access this particular, let's say, HTTP server also. You can say this way, or you can say 1.2 is also fine. It says the same, right? Both the ways, it is fine. You can access by using URL, or you can access using a, let's say, name 1.2. Yes. So now that means we are able to connect from here to here. To this we have done. Now going back to this wireless router, look at this carefully. This is very important, or let's say with respect to this topic which we are trying to cover for today. Right? Now the first thing is I'm gonna see sometimes what might happen is I can configure this access point directly by clicking on this access point and then go to the configuration. That is one way I can configure this access point. The other way I can configure this access point is sitting remotely here or sitting remotely here, and I can try to configure this access point. That also we will see. All right. Let's see first, how do I configure this access point? Okay. So I'm going to click on the access point. So you can go to config mode or GUI mode. Let's go to a GUI mode. The moment you click on GUI mode, this is the window which is going to pop up to you, or which is going to display to you. There are many options in this. You can play around with those options. All right. We'll try to explore one by one. All right. You need not to worry, need not to be hurry also. All right. So let's see. The first thing is, so if you see the options to configure this wireless router, you have a setup, wireless, security, access point, applications and gaming, administration, and you have a status, right? So these are all the options are there to configure this access point. You can set up, you can do some modifications in the wireless in terms of a basic wireless settings or wireless security or guest or MAC filter or advanced wireless. There are many other features, right? Let's explore one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going for the setup, the first option. All right, in the setup, I have all these options as a sub options. Let's see one by one. So as a first step, I'm going to tell this wireless router, all right, I'm going to set up something, internet connection type. So I'm going to say it should not be an automatic. I'm going to assign a static IP because 2.3 is the one which I wanted to assign for this wireless router, right? So this wireless router will be recognized with a 2.3. So I don't want it to get from the DHCP. I don't want it to get it from another wireless access point or using a wireless media bridge or whatever it is. So I'm going to keep it as a static IP. The moment I keep it as a static IP, it is going to ask me, first tell me what is the IP of this particular wireless router. I'm going to tell the IP is going to be 192.168. 2.3 is the IP. And I'm going to say subnet. See, there is a change which is happening in the backend. The moment I assign, the end devices are trying to reconnect. Right? Whenever there is a modification in the wireless router, the end devices will try to renew their a connection. We call it as a renewing their connection. All right. Okay. Now subnet mask, I'm going to say 255, 255, 255, and 0 is a subnet mask. And gateway is going to be 192, 160, sorry, 168. We are talking about gateway of this router. Gateway of this router will be, this is the gateway. But for these people, the gateway, we are going to configure it here itself. Let's see. Let's not worry. As of now. So gateway is going to be, it is going to be 2.1. 2.1 is the gateway. And the DNS, we're going to keep the DNS server same 1.2, which is available there. So that's what we're going to set 192, 168, sorry, 192, 168, 1 dot, I guess 2, yeah, 1.2. Now you have options also, DNS 2 or 3 based on a type of this, it will be enabled. All right. As a static, let's go with the DNS. That is the first thing. Second thing, as I said, this fellow, this wireless router, all right, he's gonna maintain its own private network. It's gonna maintain its own private network. So that is the details which we are trying to fill it here. Look at this network setup. So now, as of now, it is maintaining its own network with the 192.168 0 dot. Let's say it as a 12255 or whatever the network. Right? It is maintaining 0 dot network. Right? 192.1. You can modify it. You can say it as a let it maintain 3 dot network. It can go and let's say it as a router IP in the other side. You get it as a 3.1. Right? And the subnet mask is default, and we are going to say this wireless router has to serve the IP addresses. We are going to say enable DHCP server. So this DHCP server is the DHCP server which is installed in this router for these end devices, people who are trying to join to the connect to the wireless network. That is one. We are going to say it as a, sorry, and we're going to say it as a, from where it has to start issuing the IP addresses. Probably we'll say start from issuing from 5, because 5, 1 to 5, let's say, will reserve for other purposes. Let's say from 6, it has to start issuing IP addresses. And how many nodes it can get connected, how many IP addresses it has to issue within the range, you can say 50 or you can say 100 also. All right, you can say 50 or you can say 100 also. Then just come back, come down and just say save. This is how any settings will get saved in the wireless router. The moment you save, you can see there is an update 6 to 105. Now all these devices have reconnected to this because there is a change. Because there is a change. All right. So that is the first stage. Let's see whether this PC have got the IP address accordingly. Yes, you can see it has got all. It is by default set in a DHCP mode, and it is connected to this wireless, and it has got 192.168 3.8, and gateway is 3.1, 1.2. Everything is assigned by this wireless router. The way we have given the way we have given the information over here. Based on that, it is assigning the IP addresses. That is the first thing. We did that saving. All right. Now this is how the private network is going to be maintained by this wireless access point, or we say it as a wireless router. Okay. And the other point you need to observe is every time there is a change in the wireless network, right? The end devices has to renew their lease. They have to renew the connection whenever there is to make sure that updates whatever you have done in the wireless network is reflected in the end devices. Whatever you do, the updates in the wireless network, they are reflected in the end devices. So that's why every time it renews when there is a change. Right? So that is the first thing, right? Basic setup which we have done. Second thing is, look at this. So any doubt as of now? Let me ask for the doubts before I go further. Any doubts with respect to the basic configuration in the wireless access point, the basic setup? And it says no. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the next. Now, the next point of what I wanted you to understand is, look at this carefully. I'm going for this laptop, right? This time, if you see in the desktop, there are many utilities, right? Starting from ipconfig or web browser, all those things, there are many utilities. All right. Now this time I'm going for the utility called PC wireless. Basically, this is a place where we do some configurations or we'll play around with the wireless connections. It's similar to like the moment you click a access point, it displays a different, let's say it as a available access points, whatever it is, which are trying to broadcast their SSID. Right. So I'm going to click on the PCs. If I click on the PC, this is a window which I'm going to get. All right, look at this. I'm going to click on the PC wireless option. So basically, I'm trying to configure the wireless adapter. All right, that's how you can understand. The moment I click on PC wireless, I'm trying to click on the Wi-Fi or whatever it is, so that it display me the list of Wi-Fi is available. Then I can click on a particular Wi-Fi. Based on an authentication, I can get connected to the Wi-Fi. That's what we're going to do it now. Let's see. So I'm going to click on this PC. The first thing you can observe this PC is, this adapter is, it is 2.4 gigahertz speed or whatever you call it. There are different versions in the wireless adapter. There is a 5, there is a 5.1, there are different versions available. All right, quickly to understand those versions, if you see wireless here, you can see there is a 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz version, let's say it is a 1 and 2, right? There are different versions, right? Basically, but this wireless, let's say PC, it is a 2.4 gigahertz adapter. Adapter is active and it is also in active mode. You can observe the signal strength and link quality. This indicates the signal strength and link quality. Now, our PC using this adapter, it is trying to connect to the this wireless router. It's trying to connect to the wireless router. Now, there is something called connect option. So that is the link information, the basic information in the link tab. Then you have something called connect option. So in the connect option, just refresh it. It says there is a 3 networks available. Let's say that is 2.4 or whatever the networks available. And their name of the networks is default. And you can see the signal strength also. So that means it is something like I click on access point, I get a FET faculty, FET guest, FET students, the access points, whatever are listing there. You can this is something similar to that, right? So it says these are all the access points available. All the access points have the name as a default only. Now this is what we call it as a SSID, right? SSID, right? By default, the name of the wireless networks are going to be default only, right? Now you can keep on refreshing if you wanted to find any new networks. All right. Now, point one here to understand is these SSIDs are broadcasted by the wireless router. That is why it is displaying it here. In case the wireless router is not broadcasting any SSID, then that particular SSID will not be displayed. You need to go to a manual configuration and configure it. We'll see that also. All right. Now the connect, we have a SSIDs which are displaying. Right. You can click on any one and you can say connect. Based on authentication, it gets connected. All right. And the last tab you have is profile. All right, to which you are connected, or let's say whatever it is. All right. Now this is a place where you can configure or you can connect to a SSID which is not in a broadcast mode, which is in a hidden mode. If you know the properties of SSID, that you can connect it. We'll see that also. Let's see. All right. So now this is a PC with respect to the PC, right? The first step what I did is, or let's say the next step what I did is, we went to the PC and we try to understand what is link information it is trying to display, the connect part and the profile part. Now all the PCs are getting connected by default to the wireless router. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to change some settings in the wireless router. What is the settings we're going to do it? Look at this. I'm going to the wireless router. Right? I'm going for the wireless tab. Right? Now, if you see here, all the connections, right? The SSID broadcast is, you can see first thing is SSID mode is auto, right? Let it be auto only. The name of the network name is with respect to SSID, which we are trying to identify. Everything has got a default. That's why you can see the three defaults which are enabled in the PC, right? Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of the SSID. Let's say it as a new. I request participants or students to mute there. All right. We're happy. We'll have a get together another some other time. Right? We'll discuss. I request you to mute. I think I muted. Give me a minute. IS 24. Can you mute yourself? Ashok. Ashok went somewhere. Just give me a minute. I'll try to mute him. All right. So now, if you see in this, by default, sorry, I changed the name of the SSID. I gave it as a new. All right. And I don't want this name to be broadcasted. So I am going to disable that. So similar to your, let's say it as a earlier three defaults, now it will get only two defaults. And there is a SSID called a network, which is not broadcasted. Okay? I'm going to make it disable. Right? Look at this. Or first, let's see in the enable mode and how it is reflected. We'll see that and we'll come back. Let's see. I'm going to save that. Let it be in a broadcast mode only. Now I'm going for this PC. I'm going to say, all right, in the connect, I'm just going to click on refresh. Now you can see one of the name has been changed to the new. One of the SSID has been changed to the new. And since it is open, all right, yeah, it might get connected also. And it is since it is open, it is getting connected to a default. If I say connect to this, it will get connected to the new SSID, whatever it is. Right? It gets connected to the new SSID. All right. So now, second thing is now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to broadcast it. I'm going to disable all the SSIDs. I'm not going to broadcast it. I'm going to disable all the SSIDs. Look at this carefully. And I'm going to say, now SSIDs are disabled. Right? I've not broadcasted it. They've been disabled. Just give me a minute. Let us check to which SSID it has got connected. They have not been connected to any of the SSID. It is in a default. So no SSIDs were displayed. Okay. It's, okay. It was not supposed to get connected. Okay, it is in a 20 megahertz. Okay. That's the reason it is getting. Okay, no worries. So now we're going for the wireless, and let's see. We have not enabled. We'll do some more settings to get it updated. So now I'm not broadcasting the SSID. We're going to disable all the SSIDs. Right? We'll say new 1 and we'll say new 2. This is the name of the SSIDs. And we're going to say it as a new 3. And we're going to save it. Right? We're going to save it to that. And we are not broadcasting any of the SSID. All the SSIDs are, let's say, disabled. No broadcasting is happening. So these people cannot connect to that by default. Right? We need to go to this PC and we need to connect it in a different mode. Right? Look at this thing. So now I'm going to this PC. I'm going to tell them. So when you search for the SSIDs, no SSID will be displayed. But in fact, there are three SSIDs available, 3 networks available in the name of network new 1, new 2, new 3. Right? There are 3 networks available. Right? So, but it is not in broadcast mode. Whoever knows about that network, they can get connected. So how do they get connected? Let us see. So I'm going for the profiles. Now there is no default one as of now available. I'm going to create a new profile now for the, let's say, to get connected to a particular network. So I'm going to click on the new. Name of the profile, I can say it as a for the new one. So this profile name is to get connected to the wireless access point new 1. It is available, but no broadcasting is there. So that is how these fellows are not able to identify that network. Now we are going to tell this fellow manually that there is a network, you get connected in a wireless mode. So I'm going to say new 1 and I'm going for the advanced setup and let it be in an infrastructure mode and wireless network name is, let's say it as a new 1 is a wireless network name. And then we're going for the setup next, let it get IP address from that only. Then we're going for the next. And as of now, there is no, let's say, password used by the security enabled by the to get connected to that particular access point. It is an open mode. And I'm going to say next. And I'm going to say save. All right. That means new 1 network, we have added it. New 1 network, we have added it to. Let's see. Now we'll say refresh. All right. In the profiles, you got new 1. Now you can see, since we added, this fellow already started connecting to that. We added this new 1 information. By the time we say connect, this fellow started already connecting to the new 1. And moreover, there's no authentication. That's why, since it is open, this fellow has connected it. In the broadcast, no, new 1 is not broadcasting. All right. So I'll repeat that step. All right. For the other devices, let's take the PC. Go to the desktop. Now you don't have a networks displayed here, new 1 default or whatever it is, because all has been in a SSID. I've kept it in a disable mode. We don't want the public to view that particular SSID and try to attempt to get connected that network. It might be a secure network which I don't want it to be displayed. Only my group, my team should know that and they can get connected. That's the reason of just disabling the broadcast. Right? That is the reason of disabling the broadcasting. Right. So I'm going for the profiles. Now it is only default profile it is available. Even if you say get connect default profile, it cannot get connect. So we're going to say it as a new. We're going to create now another, let's say for the new 1 network only. New 1. And we're going for the advanced setup. Let it be in an infrastructure mode. And then say name of the network is going to be new 1. And we're going to say it as a next. Let it get the IP address from that. Next, no security. Next, and we're going to say save. And we'll click on a connect to your network. In the profiles, there is a new 1 generated. Let's click on the new 1. Oh, by the time it got connected. So it is very fast. It's trying to attempt to get connected, whichever is available in a open access. Right? Okay, just give me a minute. So let's do for these devices also. So PC, we're going to profiles, create a new profile. let's say this profile is for new one. So you can do that profiling a number of profiles which where the broadcast SSID is not broadcasted. You can even do that. So I'm going for the advanced setup. Name of the profile is new one. All right. Then we're gonna click on next. Then we're gonna click on next. Next. Let it be. Okay. Just give me a back. We have not. And okay, we entered. Okay. Save. Save. Get connected. Profiles. New. I think this will. Yes, connected by the time. By the time I click on connect, this will has attempted to get connected. So let's go to this PC and profiles. We're gonna create a new profile. Say new one. Yes. We're going for the advanced setup. Let the network name be new one only. We're gonna say new one because that is the name given in the backend. Next, 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 and we're gonna do it as a save. Connect to your network. Yeah, yes, not able to. Just try to connect and yes, attempted and we got connected. Now you can see this is how these people get connected when the SSID is in a disable mode. Right? If it is in a, what is broadcast mode, you will broadcast is by default get connected. So that is one. So with respect to the in the wireless, which you need to understand when you say broadcast or disable, that is a effect broadcast, and with that name of SSID, that is a purpose of SSID which we created. And let's go slightly in a security part. Now, if you see, all these all these laptops are able to connect in an open access mode. There's no security which is enabled. Now we are going to add a security to this. Now, when you say security, there are, let's say, there's a different versions of security levels. There is a WEP, right? WPA personal enterprise, WPA 2, all right, addition to a personal enterprise. So wireless protocol for authentication, right? Encryption protocol. So these ways, these modes, which you can assign the authentication to get connect to the particular SSID. Now we are going for the let's say WPA2, which is the latest, or let's say more let's say standard one, and we will say the algorithm in the backend, there is a TKIP algorithm or AES, Advanced Encryption Standards algorithm available. Alright. So let it be AES algorithm. Let's not worry what is in detail of that algorithm. Probably if you would have studied the cryptography, you would have studied this AES algorithm. I'm not going in detail how this AES algorithm works. Right. The encryption technique we are going to use is AES. Alright. And then I'm going to keep a face. Let's say it as a this is a password these devices need to use to get connected, right? I'm going to say Vivek 123. You can see this the moment I enable this password, right? At the back end, all the devices gets disconnected because we added a profiles in a no password way. Look at this. The moment I click on save here, now the password is required for these devices to get connected since I enable the authentication here. Right? So that's a reason. So we need to now edit again. So we need to go to the profiles. All right. We need to click on edit. All right. In the advanced setup, next, next. Now here, this device we need to tell. All right. Initially we said there is no password. Now we need to tell there is a password. Right. WPA 2. And the key is Vivek 1234. This is a password. I'm going to say save and save and get connected. Now we'll try to attempt. See, this fellow now got attempted and he got connected because the password is validated. Now, these people are not able to connect because we have not given the password yet to these people. All right. So how do we do that? We just need, even if you say network one, get connected, they cannot get connected because it is a password enabled. That SSID is password enabled. All right. So we're going for again, let's say edit, advanced setup, next, next, and we're going to say it is a WPA2 personal. Then we're going to say next, and we're going to give the password, and then say next. Now he will try to attempt to get connected, all right, and he will be successful. So click on this. We'll say get connect. Yeah, got connected. So the same way, these people quickly will do that. We're going for the profiles, and we're going to say edit. One setup, next, next. Then we're going to say WPA2, next. We're going to say Vivek 1234. Next, let's say get connected. Profile, new one. We're going to say connect, get connected. Yeah. This guy also, we're going to say profiles, read the profile. That one setup, when there is a WAP or wireless security, do it as a WAP too. Just click on next and then say Vivek 1234. Say to the next connect and click on connect. Yeah, they're connected. So that is how the security is enabled. One level of security is enabled in the wireless environment for the wireless modes to get connected. Right? You see here, we enabled the, let's say it as a WPA2. All right. Then let's see now. I'm trying to ping from here. Let's try to access the HTTP server. Can it be accessed? Let's see. Online www.fet.com. Let's see. Yeah, it is able to connect. Welcome to FPT. See, from the wireless end device, we are able to access this. Fine. So all the end devices they can access. You can even go into the ping, or let's say you can ping the end device. Let's say the same as like accessing the 192.168.1.2. Get a reply, okay? Because um, this fellow is taking care of the gateway the packets. He's accepting your packets in the private network, converting that to 2.3 IP as a public, and then he's sending it back here to its gateway so that it gets communicated and get back to you. So the way it works is a private and public networks. Same concept. So now going further, any doubts as of now? Let me take the doubts and then I'll move further. Any doubts as of now? Chat box. Any doubts? Okay. So hope everybody there. Aniket, hope everyone are there, not sleeping. So now slightly what we are doing is we're going for the wireless. As of now, we have set up the password, or let's say it is a SSID disabled and then password so that it get connected. In the wireless security, that is what we have enabled the WPA2 version, let's say 2 version. Then there is something called MAC filtering. Look at this. Now this MAC filtering can be done through the whichever the access mode version wireless ports which are trying to connect. All right, you can filter certain clients, all right, to get connected or to get let's say you can enable this and say prevent the PCs listed below from accessing the wireless network. Right? Permit the PCs listed below to access the wireless network. Let us do one simple PC to restrict or permit accessing the wireless network, and then we'll see what is the effect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the IP address of MAC address of this PC, and I'm going to add it to the filter. The moment I add it to the filter, this PC will not be able to get connected because I'm doing the filtering here. Though this PC knows IP address, SSID and password, he will not be able to get connected. That's how I'm going to filter or block the person to get connected to the wireless network. So look at this. So I'm going for the filter. That's how the traditional the internet providers also will do. Mac based, they will say your internet access is blocked. You cannot connect to that wireless network. You have to pay monthly rental, or let's say renew it. That's how they also do it in the backend. All right. So they disable your MAC address in their database so that you will not able to get connected to that network. Right? So let me pull out the MAC address of this guy. So I'm going to the config, the wireless. This is the MAC address of this guy. Right? I'm going to copy that laptop 6 MAC address. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to keep it in a filtering mode. So I'm going to keep it in a filtering mode. I have to enable this dot, right? Because there it is a dotted representation. Here it is going to be semicolon. Right? All right. So this is the guy which I'm going to prevent him to accessing the wireless network. Let me save this. You can see the moment I save, this guy will get blocked. MAC address's length is not correct. Just give me a minute. We not copy somewhere we did a mistake. Yeah. Editing. We have not put a semicolon here. All right. So the moment I block this MAC address, you can see that guy has got blocked. All other devices are connected as it is. Why this fellow has got disconnected? This fellow has got connected. Maybe his IP renewing time, that is really, renewing his connection time. They have got a certain amount of time to renew the IP address or renew the connection. Every time they renew the IP address, they get a new IP address. It is also possible if that IP is available already, which is there, which is he was using earlier, the same might will be allocated the priority, the DHCP properties. All right. Now, if you see this fellow, we filtered him. So that's how you can do the filtering, MAC filtering, right? In the MAC table, or let's say in the MAC filtering, you can filter all let's say it as a MAC addresses, right? Based on a MAC address, you can filter the end devices. If you don't want to now, as of now, you have filtered him or you have blocked him to get connected to this particular 2G. All right. If you don't want to block him, just remove that. Sorry. Just remove that and just say save. Now this guy will attempt. Now he got connected again. Right? Will attempt and he got connected again. Now this is how the MAC filtering works out. You can filter the end devices which are connected to your network using a wireless MAC filter. Now there is an advanced level wireless filter also. Look at this. When I go advanced wireless level, let's not go for this as of now because this is not into our level. We'll explore it later when once our syllabus is completed. Right? We'll just go up to MAC filter. All right. Then, so in under the setup, we have done the basic setup. Under the wireless, we have done the basic wireless settings. We have done the wireless security. We have also done the MAC filtering. All right. Then we'll see there is something called access restriction. There is something called access restriction. Now, it is something very similar to your ACL, access control list, right? You can create a policies, access control policies, 1 to 10 policy, and you can apply some policies to that. Now, if you see here, as of now, all these end devices, let's say a simple example, they are able to access 192.168.1.2. They're able to access, everybody will be able to access this DNS server or HTTP server or whatever it is. Fine. Now, in the access restriction, let's create a policy now. So I'm going to create a policy. Policy is to block. Name of the policy is to block HTTP. Now you can do that blocking using the applications also, right? You can do that blocking using the applications also. But however, we are not doing as of now blocking. We'll see, explore one by one, right? ACL we applied for based on ping, based on ICMP we did, right? It is the same. We can apply based on applications also. All right. So now I'm going to block, let's say it as a HTTP, to block HTTP, right? I'm going to say status is enable. Now, who has to be blocked, right? Who need to be blocked? I'm going to, in that, once you click on who has to be blocked, edit the list, applied PCs, to whom this policy is going to be applied, all right? I'm going to click on edit PCs, edit the list. There you get the PCs which you can apply. Starting from 3.0, let me block this 6 itself. This particular IP, this PC IP is 3.7. Let me block. We're going to block in the edit list. We're going to block. We're going to apply it for. You can apply it for individual PCs. This ACL. You can apply it for a range of PCs also. You can see from 3.0 to 3 so and so. Again 3.1 to so and so. You can apply it within a range also. Okay, let's apply only with the PC. I'm going to say it as a save. All right. So in the edit list, we blocked only 3.7. All right. And access restriction, it should be always. All right. So it has to block. Let's see whether this guy is able to send a reach this server. First, we'll try this guy, whether he is able to reach the server. Let's try 192.168, 1.2. He's able to reach the server. This fellow should have been blocked in reaching the server. 192.168, 1.2. Oh, this fellow is also able to reach the server. Just give me a minute. But however, we blocked the laptop 6. Always. Let's see, we'll put it in a specific time. Okay, we didn't save it. Okay, we kept it always. Value out of range. Where is that out of range? This should be. Okay. Now let's try. Earlier, I think we have not saved it. Let's try. 192.168, 1.2. This guy should be able to reach. This guy would have been blocked. If not, we'll go on next level of blocking. 68, 1.2. This fellow is not allowed to reach. Look at this. He's not getting request time out. Right? Earlier, we didn't save it. That's a problem. Okay. So we blocked. We created a policy for HTTP and we blocked that fellow in reaching, sending the packets. From this guy, any packet will not move out as of now. And that's how we have blocked it. Or you can even let's say block based on a URL, or you can even block based on an application also. Right? So that is also available. So that is one. And this gaming, let's not worry. Right? Now, so that is one. Right? Now, see, it is always very difficult for us to go to this access point and click on this directly, configure the access point like this, getting this GUI. All right. Maybe I wanted to access configuration sitting remotely from here. Right. I wanted to sit here. All right. And I wanted to access this wireless router and configure everything from the server. Or I wanted to sit here and I wanted to access. So how do I do is basically I need to type the access point IP address in the web browser, that is 192.168.2.3. That's how I'm trying to get into that particular access point. Okay, I request timeout. 192.168. 2.3. Okay, let's go to the access filtering. Remove, disable, list. We'll set it. This should allow me to remove key. 192.168.3. Yeah, now you can see. Now I'm trying to sit in this laptop and I wanted to configure this router. All right. So by default, this router has got, let's say in the administration, if you go to the administration, by default, this router has got a username, sorry, password as admin and admin to access this router remotely, right? This access point remotely, if you wanted to access, by default, the passwords has been set as an admin and admin. We can even change also. Let me try to access from this PC, the wireless router. Sorry, 192.168.2.3. So it's asked me, give me the admin username and password. So it is by default admin, and password is also going to be admin. For any new router, the username and password will be admin and admin. Now you can see we are able to get this GUI of this wireless router remotely. We are able to access the GUI of this wireless router from the laptop 4, and we are trying to configure. Right? So this is how we can sit in remote way, and we can configure also. We can even change, let's say, router password as let's say Vivek 1234. 1234. You want to change it? Save the settings. Now it says because you have changed the password, if you wanted to get connected again, you need to provide admin and sorry, 1234 to get connected. Settings are successful. Continue. Yes, you are able to go ahead further. So even if you, let's say it as a reconnect, it will ask you to produce the authentication 92.168 1 dot sorry 2.3. So it says admin and EID 1234. That's how you get connected remotely. So that's how the administration tab works. Right? That's how the administration tab works, management. And you have something log and all those things. Let's not worry because since we are not going to enable, we can restore it to the factory resets. So firewall, we can implement a firewall. Let's not worry all this. Then the last thing, you have the status of this wireless router, where your IP address and other things get displayed or reflected. All right. So that's it. That's it all about your wireless network. So which we are trying to cover. So I'm done my part. If you have any queries, you can ask me. So try to explore. I'll try to share this video. I'll try to explore this access point wireless configuration. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now, or later also you can ask me any doubts. That's it from me. With this topic, we have completed our syllabus. All the 8 modules we have completed. This topic, we have completed all our 8 modules. With today's class, we have completed our syllabus. From the next class, we may take a doubt and as well as focus on the lab component, kind of Viva or whatever it is. So any doubts, you can ask me now. Any doubts? You can ask. I'm done my part. Or let me ask randomly whether you have the doubts. Kiran, you have any doubts? Kiran Hegde? Kiran, can you hear me? Yes. Any doubts, Kiran? No doubts. Okay. I just wanted to ask others also. Just give me a minute. Do not leave the chart or do not leave the session. Just give me a 1 minute.